to deliver victory and serve the people of this nation. As a team, my brothers and sisters, they will fight for a cleaner environment. As a team, they will lobby for better roads and community infrastructure. As a team, they will fight for more engagement of the youth and women within the community. As a team, they will offer much needed representation through the length and breadth of Sandro and Trinidad and Tobago. Brothers and sisters, they have been uttering the sentiments of send Canada packing. I want to tell the PNM that the nation is waiting on the November 28th, and the only people who will be packing is the PNM. When we beat them in Marabala East, the Black Community, when we march out, they go get the road, they send them on. When we demolish them, they are not tested, it's a country. And all the other candidates in San example, on November 28th, stand for your rights, stand for your family, stand for what matters most, stand for a better nation, and let us rescue Trinidad and Tobago, my brothers and sisters. But before I close, I would ask you to come out in your numbers. We need all volunteers, all hands to come and support your candidate in all the districts of Sandro, and we will take back this great Sandro operation and show the people how UFD can govern. And last but not least, at this point in time, I would like, and I have the duty of bringing up the only Prime Minister that governed this country the best in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, Canada, and Honorable Kamala, the flag, the minister.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Chairman of the United National Party and Member of Parliament for Point of Vale, MP David Lee, thank you for your introduction. Also with us is Senator Gerald Ramdeen. With us as well is the Deputy Chairman of our party, Mr. Clifton Nikoto. I saw him when I arrived. He's probably on his way to the next meeting. And of course, we are happy to welcome with us the former Deputy Mayor of San Fernando, Sabrina Maulavach, the former Consul General to New York, Ms. Nan Ramram, who is also with us. And in fact, all our winning candidates for the San Fernando City, please give them a round of applause. Now tonight, whilst we are here, and of course, members of the UNC family and activists, good night to all of you. Whilst we are here, gathered in this meeting, it is a meeting I see as being one for key activists that you are. You are the main persons in this cottage meeting who will have to go out and energize and mobilize to bring victory on November 28th. And therefore I want to share with you some of the issues as we have this conversation, some of the issues that I think you need in your walkabouts, in your cottage meetings, in your spot meetings, that you can share with the voters as we come down to the election on the 28th. You will recall some time ago, given the results of the 2015 general election, that we had filed an election petition, candidates had filed, one of which was for this constituency of San Fernando West, and for other constituencies we had filed election petition. In that matter, the court ruled, both at the High Court level and the Court of Appeal, that the EBC had acted illegally in the manner in which they conducted the elections. Now, I would hope that as an independent institution, that the EBC would do its job to ensure that this local government election is done according to law and that they will not in any way breach the law. Today we had cause, the party had cause, to write to the Chief Election Officer of the EBC as follows. The topic of our letter: multiple and significant inaccuracies in the form of 46 publication, carried today in the Daily Express of November 16, 2016. This letter is written by the General Secretary of the UNC. Dear Mr. Nanan, further to our conversation earlier, I write to request a complete public retraction in the print and electronic media of the Form 46 publication printed in the Daily Express, 16 November 2016, and for a full reprinting and circulation in the print and electronic media of the corrected information. So the EBC has published the Form 46. This form carries the names of candidates and the party affiliation. We request that the EBC desist from any further publication in other media, including online publication, until this matter has been satisfactorily resolved. The damage that has already occurred as a result of this publication is irreparable, as many persons who are eligible to vote in elections have raised concerns about the inaccuracies contained in your publication. It is entirely unsatisfactory, disappointing, and untenable for this to have occurred shortly after the EBC was found to have acted illegally in the last general election. It is now an affront to common sense to assume that this is yet another unintentional misstep by the EBC, which has results adverse to the UNC. I have attached here to some of the inaccuracies the UNC has been able to detect, including the incomplete listing of candidates' names, the untenable situations in which UNC candidates are listed as PNM candidates. Moreover, in the case of Tunapuna, 8 districts were completely excluded from the EBC publication. The party views this incident with great concern, given that this is ought to have benefited from multiple levels of irrigation before it was published, and we are aware of the confusion these errors have caused in the minds of voters. These actions of the ABC have the potential to undermine the democratic process that is an essential element of our country being a sovereign democratic state. The ABC is entirely charged with the responsibility to oversee and administer the electoral process, and actions such as these will create in minds of citizens the perception that the independence of the ABC has been compromised, a situation that will only lead to anarchy and loss of confidence in our democracy. I look forward to your urgent attention to this matter to ensure that the integrity of the election process is not further compromised, respectively, General Secretary, UNC. And in the letter, we attach some of the wrong things that were published by the EBC, and they are as follows. For the Port of Spain City Corporation, you have, with respect to 1, 2, 3, 4 of our candidates, their names being misspelled. In the case of one candidate, the candidate is being incorrectly listed as a PNM candidate, that is the UNC candidate Rodriguez Martinez Noma Juma. Diego Martin, similarly name spelling in Shabuanas, name spellings in the Arima Corporation, corrections to be made in the Rochelle Carpo East. Our candidate is listed as a PNM candidate in Princess Town. Our candidate is wrongly listed as a PNM candidate. In the Superior Corporation, our UNC candidate is wrongly listed in publication as a PNM candidate. In the Sama Lavender Regional Corporation, errors there as well with the names of the candidates. And when we come to the Tunapuna Corporation, 8 candidates of the UNC, their names have not been published. So we've sent this letter to the BBC and we've asked them to make the corrections immediately in all print and electronic media. Now, what does it mean for you as our activists and supporters? It means that we must be eternally vigilant in this election. That all the support that we have could be converted into a loss because of actions that are not of our own doing. And so what you want to do on the 28th of November You cannot go wrong if you look for the rising sun and put your eggs next to the rising sun. That way, whatever confusion with the spelling of names and so on, you will get rid of that. You will not make a mistake if you place your X next to the party symbol for the rising sun. There's another matter I wish to raise. The Honorable Prime Minister, in responding to what we've been saying, has gone on the PNM platform and is accusing us of using the crime statistics and saying that we are fear mongering. No, I do have to fear monger. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are already living in fear with the stated increase and escalation in crimes in our country. The murder rate has skyrocketed since the PNM came into office. They do not even know if it is over 400, 415, the TTPS on their website. That's the police. They put out 400 murders for this year with a question mark, and they put 450. So which is correct? And there are some people who are giving you the names of persons who have been killed, and that is more than 440 persons as we speak. There's some who say it is 407. What we do know, it is more than 400 in this year alone, which is more murders than there are days in the year. When we were in office, we brought the crime rate down, the serious crime rate down, to the lowest ever in 31 years. So, kill them dead. Security alert to all UNC supporters, all UNC candidates. Be on high alert because you have Minister Hines telling people to kill you dead. Shocking. Shocking for a minister of government. And then the Prime Minister wants to say that we are fear mongering. When you have a minister inciting violence on a platform. When we were in office, they came with, and they said, we have a 10-point crime plan to fight crime. They had all the answers in, but they were in opposition. They have a 10-point crime plan. And in that 10-point crime plan, what did they say? I'll tell you in a minute. Having put it in the 10-point crime plan, they then came in their manifesto and they made these promises to deal with crime. And after that, they made the manifesto into government policy, the promises contained there. And that wasn't enough. They came in the budget last year, and again they promised the same things. They had promised from way back when, 10-point crime plan, manifesto, and in the parliament in their budget statements. Let me tell you what it is they promised, and you help me to answer whether they have kept those promises and whether they've done anything else to deal with the #1 issue in Trinidad and Tobago. And following close on that, of course, is the loss of jobs. But #1 is the fight against crime. Because if you are dead or your loved one is dead, then no matter whether you get job, house, car, whatever it may be, food card, none of it matters if you are not alive. So the greatest challenge in our country today is the fight against crime. And so they promised they will appoint a commissioner of police, yes? Big talk, they'll appoint a commissioner of police. They said they will do it rapidly, rapido, instant, right away. Just vote for us, and yes, we'll appoint a commissioner and we'll deal with all the problems solving crime. Well, 14 months later, no commissioner appointed. You know why? They have a totally incompetent Attorney General in the name of Faris. Goes out in the country and tells the country, you have the people, you have no privacy rights. You ever hear that? An Attorney General says the citizens in our democracy have no privacy. Well, we had MPs and so on, senators. But the former Chief Justice of Trinidad and Tobago, a justice in the Caribbean Court of Justice, very learned, distinguished judge, made it very clear to Faris, because he gave his statements to the newspaper, yes, we have privacy rights. The head of the law faculty at the University of the West Indies, Rosemary Antoine Bell, she also came and made it very clear we have privacy. Yes, privacy rights, but here's an attorney general doesn't understand a basic thing like having privacy rights. This is an attorney general who was too busy when he was asked by the Ministry of Health to give legal advice, to give a child assistance under the Children's Life Fund, was too busy to give the advice in time. And that child died. That child died because the AG didn't have the time to give the advice under the Children's Life Fund Act, so that child could have received treatment. And this incompetent attorney general, many other issues, I won't go into tonight again, but on the issue of the fighting crime, on the issue of the appointment of a commissioner of police, they brought to Parliament an order. And we told them the order to what must be done, the criteria and the steps to be followed to appoint a commissioner of police. And when it brought to Parliament, we told them, before it be debated in Parliament, and in the debate, that what they were putting in that order was not according to law. Made it very clear to us constitutional. They didn't take us on. They went ahead with their numbers and they passed it. And they left us to have to go to the High Court of Trinidad just to understand to strike down the order brought by the Attorney General and the government for appointment of a commissioner of police. So they will say, yes, we go to court. I argued the case myself. Senator General Abney was one of the lawyers I know. I stood up in court personally and I argued the state is against the law, and the court struck down those parts of the order that were legal under the Children's Life Fund Act. Then the government is very angry. They say, well, we don't know what to do, we go to court. But you see, in a democracy and in a civilized world, you don't pick up incompetent and go to battle. You go to the courts to get justice when there is injustice. And we will continue to use the elections to ensure the issue of the fighting crime. We will continue to use the courts now if we have to, because it appears that the Minister of Finance and the Attorney General again brought to Parliament certain orders for the taxes imposed in the last budget. And now the question is whether those taxes are legal or whether we have to be paid before online taxes on the taxes. So we will do the legal research and we have to go to court. We will do. They will set up a team, a cadre of municipal police to each corporation. They didn't take us on. So they said again, now said they will put 100. For every corporation, the 100 municipal police. First in the 10-point plan. I first in the budget last year. And can you tell me, Bishop Janki, how many municipal police you have in Zapalando? 3. I mean, 14 months later, 3 in the city of Zapalando. 3. And these people are so brass-faced and bull-faced. They continue to pick up people and over and like little pet dogs, you will lap dogs, you will run and vote for the LGE. 3, when they promise 100, they come back now. They're talking about just 200 because it appears which they moved out the Minister of Local Government and put him somewhere else. Mere days before the local election. Local government reform. And you know what they did now? They say they're putting 1,000 municipal, 1,400 municipal police. You believe that? But when you multiply 100 times 14 is how much? 1400. So they put the number 1400 to the big petty but it's still the same 100. And from that same 100, you only have 3 in the city. But listen, come and say, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, 100 is my police. Don't let them come back another time. In 14 months, they make the same people are not smarter than that. People in this election must be smarter and look at the push funds. And good Lord, please, Mr. Prime Minister, please, government, 14 years later, leave the partnership alone. You are in charge, get the trouble, stop blaming the partnership. How many people so please you have it everything they have not done, they cannot do is to blame the partnership. Well, I know everywhere we go, which is more fed up. Blame game. Somebody was talking earlier before I came here, and she told me she went somewhere in San Fernando. Many happy because it was always they must always keep hope forever in arrest, so that we continue to grow. And so she told me, she came to San Fernando somewhere, and she said there was a lady on the side of the road, and a fellow looking like a vagrant, and he went up to the lady, and he's actually asking her to give him something like a pet dog. And the lady didn't give him. He said, I just prayed for you guys to come back so I will get something to eat. So I will get something to eat. This really happened. She told me, Mama, didn't say that the lady problem, but she really not saying much because she knows it's true. And he continued saying, well, I should stop a bit and tell you what he said. Because you know we headed into Christmas. Yes? The seasons upon us, every time we put on the radio and the TV is Christmas, which is one of the most blessed times in the year. She said, the man telling me, lady, you fool when she was like a Santa Claus government, everybody used to get something. Everybody used to get something. With respect to the finance plan, they promised in the 10-point plan, they promised in the manifesto, and they promised in the budget that they will do something called a manpower audit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, because they felt that that could help in the fight against crime. Yes, perhaps it could help. 14 months later, any sign of a manpower audit, any sign of anything. The answer obviously is 100% police. Zero from this 000 government. They said they will put in place a border protection agency. 10-point plan manifesto in the parliament. Is there any border protection agency in place? In 14 months they do nothing about the 0 government has done nothing in terms of their plans and promises to fight crime. They talked about bringing law to Parliament to create a please law eviction of persons from their homes. Well, 14 months later, we are still waiting. They said about 14 years later, leave the Parliament, we're still waiting. They said so much else that they would bring. But you know what they're bringing to the Parliament? Out of all the bills that get debated in Parliament, you know which is the one that is top priority for them? Tax, yeah, right. Taxes and taxes. They brought us when they said it out yesterday, tax. That is the only thing the PNF knows about. Tax and spend. That's the only plan, the only policy they have. Play the partnership. And so they shut down the entire economy. Economy is now no longer flat. It is no longer flat line. The economy is going down. The central bank has reported nothing is down. Catherine Better, Daniel is big up. Dr. Catherine Ali, chairwoman of the Women's Arm of the Blame game. Central Bank is reporting that our country has gone in the economy the lowest decline since the history of our nation, the lowest ever in the history of our nation decline under this government. That is the latest report from the Central Bank. So in the fight against crime, and even the clues that they may have had, they have taken no steps to implement those plans, those programs, and those policies. So I come back again. Honorable Prime Minister, if there is fear, that fear is not because the opposition is fear-mongering. It is because you have failed miserably to deal with crime and criminality. Always people forever arrest. Let me share with you then the drugs. Let me remind you of some of the things that we did when we were in government. Because you have to make the contrast to see. Over 25,000 jobs have been lost under this new government. But they're no longer in the federal government. They were 25,000 jobs. On the other side of that is what? When we were in office, we created 57,000 new jobs. When we were in office, the highest ever number of persons with jobs employed was recorded in our history under the government that I led. The highest number of persons holding jobs. We brought the unemployment rate from double-digit numbers to single-digit, and now since the red policy is down, we are seeing the unemployment rate rising and the numbers of jobs falling. When they come in the campaign, they say change you can feel. But you could really feel that change when you lost your job, when you took away the laptops from children, when you took away the food cards, the baby card, everything to help the vulnerable, the weak in our country, the working classes, the middle classes. They have dismantled and they will continue to dismantle. The Prime Minister goes on the platform and he says, 2017 will be positive. You hear lie? That is lie. Because you have already shown the lowest decline in the history of our country in the economy. We have already seen over 25,000 jobs lost. We have seen the reduction in foreign direct investment. We have seen businesses closing down. So under this rolling government, there is no positive to come in 2017. Zero under this government. Don't get fooled again. Don't get carried away with the rhetoric on the platform. So when you go out to campaign, you know what you have to share and to tell to the voters. They say when we were there, it was waste, it was corruption, it was mismanagement. They say we only give to UNC friends and financiers. But since I dealt with the numbers, the contracts given to the wives of ministers, they're tripping over themselves now to come to try to explain the $55 million paid to the Yara, wife of the present minister of energy, who was former minister of local government, and the 13 million paid to both. So last night in a meeting and they're tripping over to come to explain. They cannot explain it. Facts are facts. They are stubborn things. They do not go away. They did get the 55 million under Vidara and the 13 million under both. But I want to tell you something. What was their explanation? They never denied the numbers. In fact, their answer is, well, if you're good, you're good. If you're a good contractor and you get a contract, well, it's good for you. Yes, I'm happy for everybody who gets something. And the explanation is this. They say, well, those contracts are not given out by the PNM. They're given out by Kamala government. That is their answer now. One of the answers. They were given out by Kamala government. Those two contracts I spoke about were never given out by the partnership. They were given out by the PNM. First one. And that's not so important. For people who spent 5 years crying all over the country, saying that my government only give to friends and family, they're rushing, they're hurrying out to come and say, it's my government, give their wives contracts. You get the hypocrisy? No, but look at the hypocrisy. So what is the truth? You say we only give friends and finances of UNC. But now when the names of wives are being thrown into the hat, what is their answer? Well, it's Kamala, give them that. Well then, they admitted that my government was a favor, that my government gave to everyone, that my government gives across the length and breadth. There is no discrimination under the government IRS. Everyone has an equal place, an equal space, and an equal chance. So let's see what is their next response. We shall see if they can hear me tonight and have more things to say. So just let's leave these wives alone, because there are other very important issues for us to deal with. And those issues touch and concern the mass of people in this country. Do you know that the mass of people, the numbers of our population, that they are the ones who are being discriminated against by the ruling government? I told you about the big people party, the big financiers and the big people in this country, and they are the backroom boys for the ruling government. And then we saw it happen. From big people party, they became big party people being pulled in. So your mayor here in San Fernando promoted on the eve of a local government election to big minister work. Another fellow who they say is a close ally and friend and great helper of the Prime Minister, Rohan, big minister job. So the big party people are now being promoted above the ordinary MPs who were voted in. They remove an MP voted by people and took away a minister job with a person who was not elected by the people. They took away the ministry of Minister of Public Utilities. That is Mr. Antoine W. O'Meara. He was elected, now he's moved as a minister. So the big party people and the big people behind the PNL, the real fellas who run the ruling government, they are the only ones benefited under the government now in our country. Small people, forget it. Take away a food card, your baby plan, take away everything, prices going up every day. A man so bold, shameless, as a minister, sits in a big chair in a high hotel. You see many armchair, you can hardly see him. Throw big armchair. Nothing, and people in this country, nothing. I raised the gas once, 15%. I raised the gas price twice, another 15. I raised it 3 times, another 15, 45%. Raise gas price, and you know what? They ain't riot yet. Laughing. So you know what? I'm going to raise it again next year. I will tell you this. Do not riot. Go out and vote on the 28th of November and tell them enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Vote UNC and vote for the rising sun. The other you go along, they talk about the ways and teeth and all these nice words they have. They say we spent over $500 billion in the 5 years we were in office. That's the first lie. We spent $285 billion in the 5 years spread out. Yes? These numbers are not from me alone. These numbers are up on the Ministry of Finance website. You can Google it and go. Under the statistics known as Review of the Economy. And when you check that is a book that is of Finance laid in the Parliament, and everyone for every year is on. When you check it, the partnership government in our 5 years spent about 285 billion, not the 500 billion that they speak of. And I can account for how that money was spent, again, using the Minister of Finance books, his statistics, to show where we spend that money. So firstly, we spend from that money on wages and salaries. Now this Minister of Finance and this government, they don't want to pay people their salaries. They don't want to settle the back pay. We pay back pay. Let me just find the numbers. Wages and salaries. Out of that 285 billion, we spent $42.3 billion to pay workers' wages and salaries, teachers, policemen, public servants throughout. 42.3 billion wage. Where's the waste? Where's the mismanagement? Where's the corruption in paying workers their salaries and wages? They left for us outstanding salary negotiations, wages, and we settled when we came into office over 155 wage negotiations for workers to get paid. Today, the Minister of Finance tells the unions, zero, zero, zero. I want you to tell them and show them on the 28th of November, it will be zero, zero, zero seats Out of that 285 billion, we spent 148 billion on something called transfers and subsidies. These are grants for schools, for NGOs, money for children's homes, money for the aged, the disability grant, the public assistance grants. These are what is known as transfers and subsidies, where the government takes its revenue, takes its money to transfer into households and onto people. No waste, corruption, and mismanagement. More than half of our budget each year we spend it on critical parts of what is known as a social safety net. And then another 37 billion on goods and services to pay for light bill, water bills, for public officers, for ministries, repairs, maintenance, rent, training. That's where the money went. You will see it in the review of the economy. You will see it in the books put out by the Ministry of Finance. Then, under something called the PSIP, Public Sector Investment Program, something known as the IDF Infrastructure Development Fund, we spent some more money. And this is where you can drive or walk through any part of Trinidad and Tobago, and you will see, you will touch, you will feel, and you will know what we did with the revenue and the money. You have a state-of-the-art teaching hospital done by the national. People tell me, well, sick people say when they go in that hospital there, and you wing that we did. So when they go there, they feel they're in a hotel, they feel like staying longer. They are so comfortable. So we built the hospital, we expanded the health facilities, the district health facilities and so on. We built schools, over 100 schools we built, over 100. over 8 police stations we built. We built highways. Right here at the highway, some of you will come through by San Fernando Tech exit. Many others, because I live there, so I could hear the traffic. You come to the bottom of the highway, you turn and you come back into San Fernando, into Park East, into Gulfview, into all these areas, easily for traffic rules. But this spiteful and malicious PNM, what did they do? They stopped it. I know they want to talk about money and how much money and good Lord! Since independence, the PNM promising the highway to comfort it. It took a partnership government highway to make it happen. Make it happen. Corruption and mismanagement. They speak about, you will see the change we made. You could touch it and you could drive on it too, because throughout the country, our roads and our highways were developed. You will see the dredging and so on, the amount of courses, the amount of houses were given out. You will see the new velodrome, the new aquatic center, the new tennis center, and any of you going San Fernando up, you must see the Cooper Children's Hospital. State of the art. So I'm sharing with you how we spend the money. But if you believe these people, if you believe their lies, then you could get carried away and fall again. So you can answer when you're doing your campaigning. 285 billion, so much on goods and service, so much on wages and salaries, so much on infrastructure development, so much on transfers and subsidies, and not my numbers. These are the numbers put out by the Ministry of Finance on the Ministry of Finance website in the review of the economy each year. And as I'm talking more about this, don't be surprised, they take it off the internet, they take it down from the website. So go and check it yourself. And you see, we spend this money, we spend money. We spend money to develop intellectual capital of the human resource, the children and the people of Trinidad and Tobago through our education help. We develop the physical capital of our country. Yes, we spend the money to develop Trinidad and Tobago. And we did it, we spent that money because that is how you build a country. That is how you build a country. They have no idea what to do. So they flatline the economy, they stop every project. And listen, you know, those of you know little physics, and those of you who just have common sense, you know it is harder to start an object that is stopped than it is to continue to move one that is already on the move. So the projects that they start, they have to restart after 14 months, the losses, the damage, money down the drain. If they want to start back the highway to point 14, you had it down for 14 months. I tried around parts where it was already stockpiled. All that they had to do was pay. Having stopped it, all that bedrock is washed on. By the time you get into the Cooper Children's Hospital, state-of-the-art equipment, nothing, no second to none in the world. Half will be default, and the other half may not be working. So I haven't stopped and audited anything. Everything was review and audit, review and audit. Well, today on November 28th, let us audit and review the PNM and put them And here in the borough of San Fernando, in the city of San Fernando, you have had a PNM control of the city for the past 3 years. What have you delivered in action years for the purchases in the city? What have they delivered from that local government and what have they delivered from the central government? It is 0 plus 0 still equals 0. They've done nothing in the city to help you. Nothing from the central government to help you except to make more promises that never materialize. So in this city of San Fernando, let us review and audit what they've done. And let us give the UNC a chance to take the borough and to govern and to deliver. Give the UNC that chance. You had the PNM in charge for the past 3 years controlling the city of San Fernando. Now is the time to make that change. On November 28th, put the UNC in charge of the San Fernando city by voting for your UNC candidates. So these are the areas I wanted to touch on. Of course, tomorrow night we are holding our national public meeting at the bandstand in Rio Claro on Thursday. Next week Monday will be the two region for national meeting, and over this weekend I will be in the corporation, the Sabara Regional Corporation, on my way up here in Sabara East and Sabara West over the weekend, and then on Mondays I still will be in the two region. So for you here in San Fernando, I may not see you one-on-one before the 28th. You may not see me one-on-one before the 28th. But I trust that you will take our words here tonight from the various speakers and others. You will go and hit the streets because votes are not won with the facts, with the whistles, and with the crowds. We appreciate your presence here, that you took time to come and spend part of your evening with us so we can have this conversation. But we really need you now to hit the ground. The votes are won one by one on the ground, on election. That's how the votes will be won. So those of you who are here, we need to bring more. Each one bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each candidate needs your support on the ground to bring out the votes, and they need you to work on election day in the polling stations. We are already on course to complain about BBC's actions. Let us be there on the polling day. We must have strong people in the polling stations to make sure that everything is done above board and according to law, and to object if we see any irregularities on the voting day. Also important is when the count is to be taken. So already we have our programs in the stations, and we need more people. The candidates need more of you to sign the stations. And then just before 6 we have the Senate, the ones who will be counting. Very important, strong people who will object and have it written down any irregularity. You know, when we did the election petition cases, I realized in how many ways that we were not as aggressive as we should have been on the polling day and bringing out the votes in the polling stations and on the counting. Let us not let that happen a second time. You are the foot soldiers. You will be the protectors, and you will be the defenders to ensure that on election day that the election is not stolen, that we are not cheated, and that there is no fraudulent and illegal activity. So that is the commitment we need from you between now and election day. Tonight, as I close, I again welcome the candidates who have taken their life career and put it on the line by offering themselves to be UNC candidates for the city of San Fernando. Some of you will remember Bishop Jackie was the only sitting councillor in the city of San Fernando. Can you imagine this one UNC had to fight up with that whole red and scotch, a whole patch of the red and ready? Can you imagine? He had to have tremendous strength and courage. And you know what? If it is that everything was not done that you wanted, it is not his fault. That city was controlled by the PNM. We must make the difference for the UNC to control the corporation so our councillors can deliver more. And when you say Bishop Jackie, well, he didn't fix his drain or his bridge. And they say, I never get nothing, they never give me anything. I want you to remember, when we gave 100,000 laptops for children, it was for all the children of Trinidad and Tobago. When we built the San Fernando Regional Hospital, it was for everyone to get proper health care. When we built the highway, it was for everyone to drive. So I know some people talk in feelings, as they say. That even if it's a drain or a little box drain, they didn't get it. And I've given you two reasons. Of course, in the 3 years you can't do everything. The second reason, controlled by the beginning. And third, not even the Lord Jesus Christ, if he reborn on Christmas Day, would you get every single thing that you want. But you know what is important? It is that we deliver, that we put on. I put every day, we put every day forward. And people continue to work, continue to fight for you. I use the words of a famous American president. If your country ever needed you, it is now. Now is the time. If your party ever needed you, it is now. Now is the time. And if your leader ever needed you, it is now. Now is the time. Now is the time. And if your candidates ever needed you, let us put aside those differences. Let us unite, because united we will win. Come out for your candidates. They need you now. We need your votes. Come out on election today for Bishop Jackie Ragan. There's a vote.